It's HP Munchcraft. I'm going to talk about Mechabellum. There was recently a post on the Discord asking if efficient maintenance is worth it, and given that this game uses some very objective value systems, I thought that would be pretty easy to figure out. The answer is depends on what you're doing, but it's very easy to figure out based on that whether or not it's worth it. The basics of that tech is that it costs 50 and it reduces the upkeep of the Warfactory by 100. So with a single Warfactory, it will be profitable in a one turn. That makes it seem pretty good, pretty no-brainer. However, the real cost comes out in the fact that it, like every other tech, causes the rest of the techs to become 200 supply. I guess I should say supply instead of gold. Whatever. It's ducats. 200 ducats more expensive. So if you take it to save yourself 100 per turn, and then take another tech, it will take it 3 turns to pay off. So maybe not so good. So basically, when you're looking at this thing, whether or not it's going to be worth it, ask yourself if you are going to have more Warfactory turns, because if you add more Warfactories, you save more per turn, or if you are going to be adding more techs. The reason why I mention this is because I see players in game, they'll no-brainer take efficient maintenance and be like, oh yeah, this is great. And then the next thing they do to their Warfactory is they add like 3 techs to it. Well, that's 650 supply that they've cost, and if it's only been around for 1 round or 2 rounds, you've only saved 1 or 200 supply. So you end up with like a 500 supply deficit. What people forget is that you can actually take this late if you really want to tech up your Warfactories. You can take the other techs and then just accept that it's going to cost 450 for efficient maintenance when you start adding more Warfactories to your field. I bring it up because I see this I see people take it as a no-brainer tech, got asked about in the discords, but I also noticed that late in the game, when people start building Warfactories, usually on earlier Warfactories, this can be more worth it if you're just using them for a brick instead of trying to tech them up and use them as your late game. But I noticed that people will instantly take this and maybe take 1 or 2 more techs, and because the late game can be so swingy, the game is over in a couple of rounds before it's even profitable. In conclusion, whether it's worth it still depends, but you should know that what it's gonna depend on is if you're having more Warfactory rounds, so rounds of possessing Warfactories, multiplied by the Warfactories you have, multiplied by that 100 supply, or if you are going to be having more tech. And to make it worth it, you need essentially twice as many Warfactory rounds on the battlefield as you are additional techs you buy. So that's just how that one functions, and maybe that could just make the costs a little bit more clear to people. HP out.